All right. Here's the clap. Kia ora, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode today, HUI with HOKA, episode 21. It's Saturday, the 15th of June, 2024. Today, my beautiful guests are Tinta Smith and Campbell. We originally had another guest on the couch today, Cara Farero. Yes, I pronounced it the right way. She couldn't make it. Personal matters. Shout out to you, Cara. Wish you all the best. Hopefully you can sort things out and have you on the couch as well at some point. That would be awesome. And yeah, my punchline was the most lethal duo in education in New Zealand, because both boxers, both kayako, which means teachers in ECE and primary. But Ashley was kind enough, to step in and help us out last minute. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Ben Wilson behind the camera today. Another first for us, Timothy Stevens from Adapt Media couldn't make it. He's on daddy duties today. However, he'll be back shortly. And thank you, Ben, for stepping in. Really do appreciate it. Just want to give a quick overview of the topics that we're going to discuss today and elaborate and talk about. Of course, boxing journey, what got you guys started, how to keep going, and what to leave behind, basically, because there's always something, if it's accomplishments, relationships, whatever, inspiring other people, and then going a bit about your personal life with your profession, Tinta and Ashley as well. And another relationship type of thing, because there's a very special relationship between the two of you. And then we go into being a female athlete, and there's a certain uniqueness about it, I should say, that we're gonna discover there as well. And yeah, a couple other things. Let's see how it goes, but I want to pass the rako maybe to you first, Tinta. You can introduce yourself and then pass it on to Ash and then back to me, and then we get going. So please introduce yourself to the audience.
Kia ora, I'm Tinta Smith and I box out of Nabby's boxing gym.
I'm Ashley Campbell and I also box out in Nabby's boxing gym. I've recently retired, so I'm not fighting anymore, but I'm still there for fitness.
And
I'm the Nabby's events promoter with Dion McNabbny.
And what was the first thing that you said to me before we started recording? What is the essence of wanting to be there still?
I want to be there because I want to give back to the community. I want to stay, I want to stay a part of that because it's been such a big part of my life.
Thank you so much. I feel like I needed to highlight that because that's the essence, the people that you meet and the connections and whatnot. There was a bit cut short, I would say, with the boxing and whatnot, because you retired after, do you want to say, gaining national title, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm the two-time light heavyweight champion.
Aye.
Yeah.
And then you bowed out?
And then I bailed out, yeah.
And Tinta, do you want to share, you had a first, you were the first ever? Do you want to say?
Middleweight, PBC. No, what was it? Cruiserweight. Cruiserweight, the middleweight amateur champ as well.
All right, we'll leave it at that,
Yeah.
Just for now. And like I said, you're also kayako. You work in the early childhood education sector, which warms my heart as an educator myself. But we're going to get to that also. And then for you, it would be the promoting part with Nabby's. But we tap into that as well. However, for every journey, there's a starting point. So I would like you guys to talk about how you got to the boxing sport in the first place and what got you started or what got you inspired. Who was the person that, made you look at the screen, for example, or maybe you went to a live event and you're like, oh, I want to do this for reasons X, Y, Z. So please elaborate.
There you go.
Okay. My ex-partner, Stephen Toms, he fought for Dean Northover, and he was a New Zealand champion. And so I guess the reason why I went to Manatanga to boxing, where Dean Northover was training, was because of Stephen. And I ended up training there because I was obese.
Aye.
Yeah, so I ended up studying boxing just for fitness.
Aye.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was probably 120 kilos. Was just there for fitness. I ended up like signing up for a corporate fight, and I think I went down to 120 to 100, and then just kept on chipping away. Away on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I was same thing. I started like this box fit class at a gym to lose weight, and I was like actually like punching stuff. And then I joined Rangataho Aotearoa, which was a Muay Thai gym. And it's based in Te Ao Māori, so all the commands are in Māori, and it's a gym that's in Gisborne. That's where our like main hub is, Wellington. Like it's all over Aotearoa, and I started training with them. So I kicked and did all of that, but I was always a boxer at heart, and I had 2 corporate fights, and actually me and Ash ran into each other at a show. So I was fighting for ROA, and we started chatting and getting along, and I was actually
She was fighting my friend.
So we were like, we better stop. And so funny that we had that moment, and I remember watching Ash fight. She had quite a few fights by then, and I was just coming on the circuit, and I'm like, wow, I really want to do this and be a part of that. But hadn't quite committed. I still was like, you know, just sort of dabbling in it, and I had 2 corporate fights for them. And then my coach, original coach, Duncan, he moved back to Gisborne and told me, go join Dion McNabbny's gym, go to Nabby's, that's where you need to be to build up your boxing. And so I left and went with Dion.
Perfect, because that just builds an amazing transition for talking about where the connection comes from, you know, because you got to know each other through that event, but where it like all came together is through Dion McNabbny, you know, and he's probably the reason, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, for why you kept going, you know,
For sure.
Someone that has so much passion, holds so much expertise and knowledge, and is just, you know, if he's not making you want to box, then I don't know what the reason would be, you know, like it's incredible, you know, to be in his presence and to be at his gym as well, you know, like this is, if you ask me if I close my eyes how a boxing gym would look like, this is a boxing gym, you know, even the sound of the people, like everything, you know, the commandos and whatnot, I was like, if you would ask me that this is how it's supposed to be. Yeah, so would you say that he's the main reason that you guys actually kept going and kept developing, or?
Oh, for sure. Without Dion, there's no boxing, you know. He taught me everything I know as a boxer. I mean, there's things I learned with my original coach for sure, and obviously built foundations, but with Dion, he's just like we always say, it's like the walking dictionary of boxing, like, and his patience, because, yeah, I was not great. But I mean, then his patience and his fruition to see the potential in a fighter it's pretty amazing, you know, and I just see it day in, day out, you know, like him tell someone, you know, it will come, and we laugh about it and make jokes about it, but he's so right, and you just turn up every day, and he just is persistent with us and so patient and creates opportunities for us. Without him, there's no fighting. Yeah.
I was talking actually to Ben about it because in preparation of, you know, all of this, I came to the gym and I trained with you to catch up and, you know, just to catch a vibe again, because it's been probably 2 years or so since I was there the last time.
Was it 2 years?
I think so.
That's
Must have been quite some time. And you know, get a feel for it. And I came home and I was like, wow, this is amazing. You know, like this. Is it the synchronicity between you and him on the pads, without like talking much or anything? It was like pop, 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 turn out of the way, boom, bah. And I was sitting there watching in between rounds when they were explaining stuff, and I was clapping, and I didn't even realize that I was clapping because I was so amazed by the performance. It was almost like this beautiful crescendo of 2 people performing like a dance or something that goes backwards and forwards. That just shows, you know, the understanding that he has for you and vice versa, and using you as an example, of course. Do you want to add something onto it, like maybe your relationship with him or how you got clicking?
So I ended up starting Nabby's because there were so many women at the gym. I was at Hit Fitness for maybe 3 years, but there weren't a lot of girls. And and when you're training and fighting women, when you have to fight women, I think it's really important that you're training with women, because men train and fight so differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can I ask, out of just interest, what is the biggest difference you would say?
We're far more aggressive.
Way more aggressive.
Our volume and our...
That is actually true, because I 2 years ago I had rounds with both of you, and I was like, man, they keep coming at me, like I don't get any time to breathe or like to readjust. It's just like you gotta get out of the way and try your best. You know?
Yeah, for sure. And with you guys, what we've talked about a lot is you absorb our punches like they're nothing, and so yes, when we're sparring men and people think, oh wow, she's going hard, you also take the shots a lot better, because you know your bone density, it's just science.
Okay.
And biologically you're built for it better, so when we get hit back, we don't absorb the punches as well, you know. Our bones aren't as dense, and so you know your lungs are bigger, so your capacity to regulate your breathing and oxidate the blood is just different, you know. And so I think maybe that's why there's just that flow and ebb. So it's very different when we spar women. It's kind of like this the whole time. Yeah.
Interesting. Because if you relate that to a jiu-jitsu gym, for example, or like a mixed martial arts gym, to me it always seemed like a flux, you know. Sometimes you have a few more joining, sometimes it's less. In jiu-jitsu, I think there's more, so they merge in. Sometimes there's women only, but I wonder, what the background there is. Have you noticed something at the gym that you were training at Riverside, BJJ?
In regards to like men versus women, like flexibility wise, like it's insane. You know, like I can't clear my leg over my head to save my life. But some of the women that I roll with, it's like, you know, they can almost put me in a triangle from standing. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, from a flexibility standpoint alone, for rolling, I would say there's a big difference there.
Yeah. True, but even 2 nights ago when I came to join, I've noticed there was quite a few, like actually quite a lot of females, you know, at the gym, and I was like, man, this is actually cool. And of course, all walks of life. That's just martial arts. It brings everyone together. But the age difference as well.
Oh yeah.
Like young Wahine, I would say there was the one next to me was maybe, I would say 15 or so, and then there was another woman across, and then we trained together, and man, it was beautiful to watch. And people would come in, and you know, the vibe was just off the charts. It was really cool. However, that's the starting point. We talked about a few of the achievements, which, you know, second to none, you know, outstanding. But there's like, at some point, you know, it's like different paths. I would say, agree with me or not, you are hitting your peak, you know, like you're just on this crazy rise at the moment to all these opportunities opening up, you know, you get, I don't know if I'm supposed to share, but you get flying out now to train with other people as well. And it seems like the right parts are clicking, and you come in as the promoter also. But I guess the crossroads here is that you are going into the direction of where could this go? And you are at the direction of, well, I put a stop to this, you know, I'm a 2-time champ, national champ. But yeah, what is it, where do you go from here, I wanted to say? That's your question. And why did you choose the involvement? You can go first.
So I am probably like, I take any opportunity that, sorry, that was really gross the way I said like. I take any opportunity that comes my way, I guess would be the thing I would put it, right? Any fight I pretty much take. I don't care about the size difference, I don't care about experience difference, I just take opportunities. The way I look at boxing is you have a limited expiry date. I can only do this for so long.
Yes.
So I'm going to commit everything I can to those opportunities and do it all, because I don't want to retire and think, shit, I should have done that, or I should have taken that opportunity. You know, like, hindsight's the worst. If you go back and think, oh, I should have done that, that's the worst feeling in the world. We all know it, we've all experienced it. So those opportunities that people talk about is only because I say yes. Yeah. Like, I don't know how to explain it anyway. I just say yes.
I've got a quick side question before we go to you, is if I remember correctly, and I was reading the article and whatnot, you actually had to put weight back on for the cruiserweight fight.
Yeah.
Right?
So, I fight as an amateur at 75. I used to fight all the way down to 70. So slowly just finding which weight suits me. 75 is my natural, like, healthy, happy weight that I like to operate and fight at. But I couldn't find anyone to fight me in that weight division. So, I mean, you guys were hunting high and low to find me an opponent. And Trish popped up. At the time, she wanted to fight that weight division. So we negotiated, obviously, because Ash is my promoter. We negotiated, and that was probably the lightest they were willing to go at the time for whatever reason, which I was happy to take. So we got into the cruiserweight division, and there were a couple of other girls that were at that weight that I could fight because, you know, well, women get pregnant and things happen, so a lot of fighters are taking breaks at the moment. A couple have just had children, so...
I looked at the bracket though for cruiserweight. I think that's a 15 kg
oh yeah, it's huge.
span that you can compete in.
So I just scraped in to the lowest for that fight, which is okay, you know, it's fine. Yeah. And like I say, that's just me saying yes to fights to get these opportunities, and that's how that came about. Yeah.
So any opportunity, maybe that's perfect for you because you're the one who is creating those opportunities as the promoter and looking for the right fights, looking for the right people, you know, to link up with, not just for the fights, also for sparring and, you know, people that have your best interest, you know, to progress with your career before it's over. There's no hindsight. It's like, I've done it, you know. So do you want to talk about that part a little bit?
With finding matches for Tinta, I guess you're having conversations with their coaches and seeing what weight they're comfortable at, and you know, you're making sure that both fighters are happy, and making sure that weight difference isn't significant.
Yeah.
So it might be a 15 kg gap, but we'd already just like organised and decided what weight her opponent was going to be. Yeah.
What do you think, from your point of view as a promoter now, is the most difficult thing to negotiate when it comes to promoting in general, or in her case, or maybe you can give an example?
Hardest thing to negotiate? I don't really know. Everyone's that we've worked with so far have been really accommodating, and everyone kind of has the same goal. Like, the women just want to be able to fight someone.
Okay, can I ask you then, because I'm assuming that you were involved in that also, Tinta recently, you know, we talked about this after the session, you know, you had some high-level sparring with someone from Australia, and is there negotiations that go into that as well? If you're just linking up for quality sparring, quality, whatever, just having a good training partner that you can build up with?
I guess Dion's actually the person that organised the sparring, so I don't really have much to do with that.
Yeah.
But because Cara and myself aren't in the gym, and we were Tinta's main sparring partners, I think travelling is the best thing for her to do, and Dion's probably the best person to organise that for her.
Yeah. Because I'm not just thinking in terms of, you know, performance is important, having good training partners and whatnot, but also, and this is the cut to, like, life experience, you know, that you gain from, you just fly a weekend to Australia, you know, to spar with someone, train with someone and build connections over there, and then you see the city, you go for coffee, and it just expands your horizon so much. So maybe we talk about that a little bit, how you, as an educator, you know, because your job that I've done for a long time is pretty full on, you know, like mentally and physically. There's like lots of young children walking around, and you're responsible, you know, for their needs and their wants and, you know, their health and well-being. So yeah, do you want to talk about that a little bit, how you maintain balance between that and relationships and all of the other stuff that comes with it?
Sure. It helps that I'm the head teacher, so I can pick the roster. But no, my team is super accommodating. So how I work at Campus Crash, which is the university.
Shout out, by the way, because they're really promoting what she does. You know, they put posts out and whatnot.
Of everything I do. So I trained there as a student teacher. Now I'm going to sound old, like 13 years ago. And my head teacher at the time, who is now our director, Dougie, shout out Dougie, she's awesome. She poached me back years later from another centre I was working at, and I came back and I said, hey, I'm a boxer, it's my huge passion. I could, you know, have to drop things in a hat and go overseas. I could come in with black eyes. Training is a priority. Are you willing to accommodate that for me to work here? And they're like, sure. And they really have. They really have supported everything I do. And so do my parents. They're just like, one of them was at my fight where I won my title. He didn't even know I was fighting because obviously I fight under my nickname. And he was like, when I saw you walk out, I was like, she looks after my children. So that was really cool. We caught up on the Monday and they're just all really supportive of it. Those are my two great passions in life, is obviously boxing and my kids. So those kids come first, actually. So I make sure they're all settled before anything
Can I tell the
happens.
story about the field trip and the sparring that you're actually flying out a day later?
Yeah, well, no, it happened this weekend. So I had to ask, could they push the sparring back a weekend because my kids' field trip comes first, and I didn't want to cancel.
Yes.
So things like that. There's, you know, Ash knows, like, I can't travel with the team sometimes because I want to make sure the kids are settled and I don't want to relieve her in there or, you know, and arrange things certain ways. So ultimately, if it hinders the children in any negative way, then I don't do it. That would be the big thing, you know. The kids come first, ultimately. And then boxing is a very, very close second, in there.
Yeah, even like look how she lights up just talking about it. Like
I
it's
love
definitely
my job, man. I love my job.
uplifting. Any impacts that you would like to highlight or talk about, or as far as it comes to balance, or how one impacts the other, or the other way around?
Balance and boxing. I don't think that's a thing.
It doesn't exist.
I don't think it exists. It really takes over. So I just try and work it in with work. And I'm self-employed. I own a lash business, so I do lashes during the day. But
Promoter by night.
Yeah, lash artist by day. But I just work it in. So you have different training sessions. So you've got your different types of runs, your strength and conditioning. That Bill Smart was our strength and conditioning.
Smart
coach.
performance.
Yeah, smart performance. So you've got those sessions, and then you've got all the sessions that Dion has in the afternoon, and you just try and go to as many as possible. And
Well, what you put in is what you get out.
yeah, exactly. And I think when I'm performing, when I have a fight coming up, I think that gets rid of my nerves, because if I know that I've done as much as possible and I've actually turned up, I still get nervous, but I'm less nervous. I'm not as concerned.
Well, the thing that ties it both together, what you said and what you said as well, is just the devotion and the dedication, you know, and the willingness to just sacrifice. And when I asked Coach Dion about both of you, to just tell me a few things, you know, about your work ethic or how you go about stuff, he's like complete, total devotion. You know, they're willing to listen, they're willing to go the extra mile, no matter what I put on them. They put into action, you know, because they understand that the recipe that I put out there, you know, just works. And if you look at the numbers that he produced over the years, you know, it just speaks volumes, you know, Golden Gloves, national titles, and the list goes on. First cruiserweight champ, and then also with the events, he's so consistent, you know, with the Nabby's events, you know, the in-house competitions and how he works around it. Shout out to you as well, because, you know, you're heavily involved, you know, with the matchmaking and whatnot. It's pretty beautiful to see, even firsthand when I came in, you know, with the environment and how welcoming, and everyone came up, you know, just fist bump quick and introduced themselves. It was awesome to watch. I guess that devotion part, because things naturally sacrifice, is agree or disagree, is also, that's one of the negative impacts maybe, that you just...
It really depends how you view it. Like, yeah, we lose our social life.
We are our social life.
Yeah, so, you know, you make friends in the gym and you make opportunities to spend time, like, most of our time together is spent training. Like, we'll do runs and stuff together, but that's our social time, you know, and, like, you just have to expect, if you want to be good, you have to sacrifice some things, and you just fall in love with the journey. You fall in love with, man, I PB'd that run, or I felt like crap, but Ash will be like, come on, we got to do it. And so I'll push myself to do it.
Nice.
And those highs come above the highs of going out. Like, people will say, oh, you missed that party, but okay, cool. But I'd rather miss the party and be a champion, you know? Like, it just really depends on what you value when you put value.
I've got a good question for you. It just came up, it's not in the script. But if you look at the accomplishments at like pros and the cons, let's say, is the sacrifice, what comes out of it is, you know, like this is a perfect example of relationship, you know, like you were training partners, you met, you boxed the shit out of each other for like years, you know, to get better. Now she's your promoter and your friend and keeps you accountable and whatnot. Would you rather give back that friendship, or would you rather give back that cruiserweight title?
I would give back the cruiserweight title.
I mean, I knew you would say that,
go with another title.
but that just shows that, you know, this is the, you know, the relationships that come out of it. That's the ultimate, you know. That's what else do you want or need, you know, long
but we both
lasting.
said we wouldn't give boxing up for each other.
No.
Like, we both say we would kill each other, but then we got to keep boxing. We've said that to each other.
Yeah.
Boxing's our first love.
Yeah. Wow.
We love each other, but
Yeah.
boxing's up there. You know, boxing's changed our life. It's a huge part of our identity. As Ash said, even though she's retired, she's giving back, you know, giving back to the community. They put on events for the amateurs that make no money. And, you know, who else is doing that? And Waikato, Kirikiriroa, no one.
Can't
There's
think of
no
anyone.
other amateur boxing events, you know, and just seeing those kids, like
They're
light up
so
from
happy.
our gym, being able to compete, and that just fills our cup, you know, and seeing those new flock of kids come through, knowing that one or two of them is going to be something special come out of that. you know.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it's community after all, isn't it? So that's the relationship between the two of you, but how about the relationship with yourself? You know, that's something that I approached you guys with prior, because to me as a male athlete, look at it the way you want to, I would never understand certain things, so I really wanted to touch base and ask you, relationship you have with yourself, of course all the performance, but the menstrual cycle, for instance, is a huge one, you know, because I mean, I had a girlfriend in the past, or I spoke to female athletes, and they tell you, or like just if it's a friend, you know, oh, I feel shit and this and that, but I will never ever be able to experience that because I'm simply not a woman, you know. So how does that impact the training, your performance, and everything that goes along those lines?
You go first. You want me to go?
No, I'm just thinking about the graphic things that you say when we're sparring.
Bleep.
I'm like, are you okay? She looks pale, not happy, and yeah. I won't say what she's doing.
Some swearing going on?
No, but like when you've got your period, it's not nice. Sometimes you're in a lot of pain. Sometimes you're fine. Like it kind of like for me, the pain comes and goes. But you could be bloated. You could feel heavy. You might have random stabbing pains while you're just trying to like mind your business, and you've got like actual like stabbing pains in your stomach, and you just work through it, really.
Yeah.
You just ignore it.
Okay, is there anything that you can do for yourself to accommodate that or like help with it?
Well, there's like it's really individualized, really, isn't it? So
Yeah, everyone's different. At the Chemist Warehouse, you've got these like hot packs that you can have, and I've got them shoved down my my active wear, or you can take pain relief, or probably just put it in the back of your brain, and
it does fully affect our moods.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that you said to me when I approached you with the question or like wanting to talk about it, you're like, man, that's all I know. Like I've been dealing with this ever since I started. I don't even think about it. I knew it comes up when it comes up, and then I deal with it, and then I move on to whatever comes after.
Yeah, like when I was fighting at the lighter weights, I like really pushed my body to the extremes where I lost my period. I was just too light, and my doctor was like, look, this is not good for your fertility, you need to put on weight, you need to get your period back. So, you know, this is how much it affects us. So sometimes you're like, am I going to sacrifice competing at this weight or the chance of having a child. That's how severe it can get for us.
Yeah.
Also to the fact that, like I do say, it is normal for us, so we just push on through. We might mention something to each other and just say, oh, sorry if I'm a bit moody today or something, but that's life. It does affect our weight, so we can go up. So if you're cutting weight and someone says, yeah, a little bit affects our weight, they're actually talking the truth. It can. I'm at least a kg heavier.
Wow.
I
Is that
fluctuate
retention?
between 3.
Yeah.
3 kgs.
Yeah.
Is that water and whatever?
It's
retention?
lots of things, like it affects our hormone levels, so we're all over the place at that time. You can narrow it down to when you are heavier, so it could be in the beginning of your cycle, at the end. We also ovulate, so ovulation can affect things, so yeah, you've just got to be quite in sync with your body and just understand it can affect your weight.
How about we put it out there on a silver plate for what can a training partner do, male or female, it doesn't matter, to support you with it?
There's not a lot, we've got it.
Yeah.
We're very capable.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess the communication beforehand would be like, hey,
If we're moody, you're like, wow, that's real out of character, just let that one slide.
yeah, okay, gotcha. Maybe just have your personalized chart, like, oh, Tinta, we're at this date, yeah, alright.
But we're lucky with our boys in our gym, like, we can be pretty open.
Yeah. Well, they're used to us being
And they're
pretty
used to
open.
it. Yeah.
Man, interesting. Like, this question has been going on in my head for so long.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's good to know, just to be aware, and also if it happens, with the mood swings and whatnot, you just say, okay, it might be related to that. But then another thing that I just mentioned was the libido levels, and I'm going to start off with a funny story, because in the past, like when you're younger, you don't understand it as much, but the story is related to my first ever fight that I had. I went to Thailand, I came back to Germany, and I had another 3 or 4 weeks to like prepare. And then it came to like the last final stretch, and my trainer, my sensei, pulled me aside. I was like, you seeing someone at the moment, like your legs are gonna give out 10 days before, no sex, no nothing, no, playing with yourself, like you cut it out, you get weak knees and whatnot. And I was like, alrighty, that's actually a thing, not knowing that this would be so impactful. And then funnily enough, I was dating someone at the time, and I told her, like we are in this like last week, I was making weight and whatnot, but I was maybe down here with my energy and everything else, but talking about the menstrual cycle and everything, like she was up here all of a sudden, so she wanted to get it on, and I was like, I told you I can't, like this is that almost put so much tension on, because we had a few days together, like spending time together, and I was like, I can't. And imagine, like a beautiful woman, and you just have to say no for, I don't want to, I want to keep my legs underneath me. Oh man, to this day, like it cracks me up, and I stuck with it. So yeah, that was good work. I'm proud of myself. However, how is it for Wahine? Does it take away from your performance? Because I've heard from a little bit of research, and I've done, and like speaking to people, like, not in an in-depth conversation, but it actually enhances it. So here we are, addressing the question.
I have had a coach say that it, for guys, if you have sex before your fight, like it's discouraged, but women should do it.
Wow.
But to be honest, I don't notice the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Same? Okay, interesting. Well, with the hormone levels and whatnot, the stuff that we talked about, whatever chemical is released, who knows how that impacts your body. I was just curious, because it is a thing, because once I started talking to my friends and training partners about it, they actually said the same, like even soccer players or like other athletes, it's like, oh no, like even on game day or a few days before, we try to like keep the energy. And the story, the more serious one I would like to share here is I worked with a Chinese medicine guru once upon a time to like get certain parts of my body healed. And however, it was so interesting talking to him at some point. We actually talked about that as well. I don't even know how the conversation got there. The treatment was done. I probably still had some needles somewhere in my body, and we just like had to wait. So we had some time to chat. And he was saying that, imagine, Armin, when I sleep with my partner sometimes, I don't release it, because the energy that I release is so strong, it creates life. And imagine if you keep that within yourself. He's a Qigong black belt practitioner. I don't even know if they have belts, but like a master level, you know. I had some sessions with him. Very slow movement, like a very interesting character. But I was like, whoa, really blown away by how he was approaching it. And then, you know, got more curious about it. Long story short, yeah. There's not a single male athlete that ever addressed to me, oh no, it's not affecting me. You know, it's more so on the negative side, you know, you feel a bit...
I guess we don't think about it.
Yeah.
No.
It just would be, we have to sometimes write when our last cycle was on the form so we can prove we're not pregnant.
Ah, yeah, true. That's a thing. You have to hand in a pregnancy test, eh?
No, we just sign off. We just sign it off that we've had a period and that we're not pregnant.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because the German, here's another side information. The German Mixed Martial Arts Federation requests from all female athletes to provide a pregnancy test that is, I'm not sure what the duration is, if it has to be like fresh. But I remember the last time that I went home to support some of my former teammates, still teammates, you know, it's a bond for life. Going to the German nationals, we had one female athlete, and on the day, because she forgot, we had to get her pregnancy test from the gas station, and she had to go to the bathroom. We had to provide it, you know, they were not mucking around with it. That was like on paper, we have to pull through, and I think it's fair enough, you know. Health and safety comes first before anything. Is there any other performance related things, like maybe our good friend and performance coach that we share, Bill Smart from Smart Performance, has addressed to you, or is there other research that you looked into, or anything else that helps you to just perform at your best as a female in that case?
I think Bill just treats us like all the other athletes, which is perfect. That's what I would want. And I just trust what he says. I just do what my coaches say. And that's how you get good. You just do what your coaches say.
It takes away the worry.
Oh, for sure. We often reflect on that if we train and we do what's been asked of us, or what we've been asked to critique, like if our trainers critiqued us and we've improved on it, then, you know, the proof's in the pudding, that's all you can do. Yeah.
All right, talking about performance, we're just going to go, it needs to be a rapid answer, okay? I'm just going to point, and whoever gets the finger has to answer straight away. So whatever comes to your head, just let it out. First one is for you, Tinta. What is the most recent thing about your training? Can be performance related, anything that helped you perform even better, that you changed, the most recent one?
Oh, God. I just honestly think nerves are excitement. It's a new thing. Nervousness is just excitement in a different form. And I'm really hanging on to that at the moment.
So you embrace it and turn it into something positive and just enjoy it, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. I've noticed when we trained that you smile the whole way. We had this thing going on. I was like, yeah, you're good. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Talking about like when you still active or you still train, you know, something that like a little giveaway, one of your tips, maybe something that really works for you and that boosts your performance, like a thing that you do just before training, or can be anything, something that gets you going. Can be a coffee before training. Or
Pre-workout.
Yeah, triple pre-workout.
Triple.
No, drop it. Not a triple.
She doesn't want to
die.
But not Masashio.
Yeah, probably just have a pre-workout. Tinta's usually got the jokes, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you had it like kinda? Are you like peaking here, or did you have your pre-workout?
Yeah.
So does it in form of like an energy drink or something, like a pre-workout energy drink?
Yeah, usually have... What is it called?
You don't have to say, it's fine.
Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, I'll just have one of those and it'll get me pumped and...
How much do you think of taking that into your body is like just a mental of, oh, I had it my pre-workout, and how much is it actually affecting your performance?
Oh no, it really is, because I'm bouncing off the walls.
Have you ever taken something before? Like a coffee or?
Yeah, I'm usually a coffee guy over like a energy supplement guy. But like my body just doesn't like beta alanine. which is the
Good
active
stuff.
ingredient and the real.
That's really good.
real
I take the
strong
extra
stuff.
of that.
Yeah,
we
see,
take
my
that
body
extra.
hates that, so
Yeah.
I'm normally just like a espresso shot
Okay,
sort of guy. Yeah.
interesting.
Mm.
Question for both of you. You can choose who's going first. What is probably the smallest thing that you changed throughout your training that created the biggest impact?
The smallest.
The smallest detail that had the biggest performance impact.
Maybe just listening.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tinta?
I don't know.
I give you an example. I started when I have back-to-back sessions, you know, and the way we operate at Core Mixed Martial Arts in Hamilton, New Zealand, is a bit different to, like, let's say boxing orientated, because when you box, you know, it's all like, it's drills, it's pads, you know, you're already in that zone. But sometimes the way we train is you go from, let's say, a jiu-jitsu related or wrestling, grappling related scenario to, and then the second hour would be striking. You know, you put on your gloves, you put on your shin pads, and completely different patterns, movement, and whatnot. However, it's not even so much related to that. It's like I started just having little snacks in between, and for me, it's either like a gel, like an endurance gel, or like 3 or 4 dates to just keep my energy up so I can actually focus and perform and I'm not depleted. I mean, 5, 6, whatever years ago, I could have done all of that like without probably, but you know, the older you get, I guess that's what I'm hinting here. You have to just fuel your body more constantly. Or even just another small thing would be between sessions, like changing my dripping t-shirt, because you know, they're most likely going to start with like a warm-up or something leading into a drill, so you're like not getting sick from the aircon or something like that, you know.
I would just have lots of like little self chat and little like sayings.
Yeah.
I like whisper.
Can you
What
share
are
one?
your sayings?
Can you share one?
I'm like, you choose to do this, so stop moaning and shut your
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
It hurts because it has to.
Yeah.
And yeah, my self chats are kind of like a little bit grumpy, but it's just like a reality check. Like, I choose to be here, so suck it up, buttercup, we get through it.
Yeah. Of course. And you have to embrace it. I think that was the biggest takeaway for me when you said it, because, I mean, just from that recent session, the constant smiles and embracing the situation,
Oh,
you know.
have to love the journey. You just have to fall in love with the journey. Like, I always say, the fights, the accolades, everything, that's the cherry on the top, you know, like, that's the, like, peak, that's the cool thing. But that if you don't love that journey, those months, those years leading up, then why do it? Because that's where all the work is put in. That's where you spend your most time. If you can't fall in love with that, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just fall in love at the end.
It's a different sport for you, Ben, but when you started jiu-jitsu recently, why, apart from all the other obvious benefits like weight loss, confidence, you know, you feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
Why did you, I mean, it sucks at times, you know?
Yeah.
Why did you go back?
I think, you know, like I was looking for something that built a skill at the same time as, you know, just the exercise, because I tried a few times like going to the gym, but it's so like antisocial.
Yeah.
So, you know, I went to Riverside Jiu-Jitsu in Hamilton, and just, the community is huge. You know, you're spending so much time there, and if you're not making community from the people that you're rolling with or training with every day, then it's kind of, you know, then it's still an antisocial activity. And I think that's the biggest thing, is you go back to see the people at your gym, you know, like you make a relationship with those people, you know, you make a relationship with your coaches, and if you enjoy being there, I want to go back there to see the people even before I'm going there with the intention of like exercising or like developing the martial art, you know. So that's the first bit. And yeah, as you're rolling, it sucks sometimes, and you're like ruined, and you're like, why did I do this to myself? But you wake up the next day being like, oh yeah, but I'm gonna go and see, you know, I'll chat with, you know, this person and that person, and then that's just the byproduct, is the skills you develop and exercise.
That's a cool way to put it. You go there for the people first, and then you go there for the rest.
I think that's the biggest part for me. You know, it
You
was
put it beautifully.
Finding that core
Mhm.
group, and then the rest just comes
Kapai.
after.
I ask you a lot of questions. I mean, that's what we're here for. So did I with you. But we're getting to a stage now where if you want, and if you have a question unlock that you want to spit back, now would be the time, because we always give the guest the chance to, ask something back. And everything is on the table. So feel free to ask. If not, we can just tap into another topic that you guys can choose. Or maybe I've got something in the back pocket too.
I don't have any questions.
First impressions when we met. There we go. That's
When
a
we
good-
that's
when
good.
we met at the gym?
Yeah.
At the gym, you mean? Because was that the first time we've met?
I think so. I, think
I was intimidated.
What?
Yeah, of
years ago?
course.
No way.
Yeah, of course, And I tell you why, and it hopefully it's not coming across the wrong way, but if you, between man and female, not saying that I would feel superior, but you think you're stronger, you think you got it sussed, no matter what. But if you meet like a female with so much energy and ferociousness and power and just, you were locked in when I arrived there, and I was like, fuck. Sorry, here am I swearing, talking about it before. And however, I was a little bit intimidated, and then we had good conversation and just, the thing that connects us other than the martial art, which is boxing, because I came there just to learn about boxing, coming from mixed martial arts background, was that you're an educator too, so we got talking straight away. So the feeling and the impression changed quickly from that to that, because, it broke the ice straight away, and I was like, oh, hopefully I'm not getting hiding now, But it was, I remember, like I was saying in the beginning of the conversation, the intensity of the gym was like, wow, I was not anxious, but I was like definitely on my toes, I was like, okay, I need to be on alert here. It looks like a place where they don't fuck around much, like you have to be on your game. And
Yeah.
I think after talking to you and Kara, and I'm not quite sure who else was there, like Coach Dion came up to me asking straight away if I have my headgear, we're going to do some sparring. And I was like, I haven't even put my bag down, like I'm not even, I still have to get changed, and I was like, I get to the car and get it, But it's the same, and I link it back to what you said. I had to embrace the moment, be like, well, if I'm going fuck, then the experience is just gonna suck.
What I said, you baptism by fire in there.
Yeah, so just throw me in. Okay, I have to accept it, and I had some awesome rounds with you, Ashley, as well. I got dropped to the body, and even the person who dropped me came up, just put the glove on my shoulder. It didn't help me up, but that was, I acknowledge, you did this. And then the session was over, and I was so exhausted, but it changed super quickly from like, who is this, like boxing you, to, we actually have like some common ground. And I relate this to, and you like this, I recently was fortunate to attend the Wananga, and we had to stand up and present like an impactful moment of our lives, a transformative moment of our lives. And I was like, when I came to New Zealand, I knew nothing about, Te Ao Māori, like anything related to that, the first 3 weeks, I think when someone said sweet ass, I actually thought they were talking about the ass. Or when I drove past now I can pronounce it, Narawahia sign, I was like, there's some sort of town with N, not knowing anything, but the universal language of mixed martial arts, like training with someone without actually talking much, enabled me, to gain respect and, some sort of like trust from someone to actually teach me something as well. And when we then trained again a few days ago, years later, it was, of course, there was like some moments where we had to switch stance and this and that, but it was just, after that was out of the way, it was boom, 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 and we had like the meanest session without talking much, just like going through it. So yeah, that was my comeback to Nabby's boxing gym, and might be back soon,
Yeah, I reckon.
All right, Benny, do you have anything that you wanted to put out there? Or vice versa? No, I want to ask this question back. What was your impression?
Oh.
What did you think? Because we've never met.
I actually said how nice you were, eh? We went in the car, I was like, man, that guy was nice. Man, European people are nice.
Yeah.
The
was like-
MMA people are nice.
European guys are nice.
Yeah.
That's what I said. And like, I
was
just
like,
said it's different
he's
from
German.
Kiwis. Yeah.
I was like, he's German. He's
Yeah,
nice.
that's what she said. German people are nice. It's like,
Yeah.
so nice because
he
Kiwi
was.
guys weren't as, you just say what you feel and what you, and like it was quite, not confronting, but I was like, wow, this is a real culture shock. It's just different. And I was just saying,
You were
how,
quite soft with us.
yeah,
And I was like,
we're not
Yeah.
used to males being like soft. Not
Yeah.
soft as in like, it's just hard
you
to
were
explain.
kind
You
and,
were kind
and warm
Oh, yeah.
and you said nice things and both, I think you were saying kind things and I like looked at Tinta and we were like
we were
looked
like
at each
shared
other.
this like glaze at each other like, what is this?
What
like,
is this? That's weird.
Yeah, well, here we
Yeah.
are, you know, like years later, and you know, still feeding off first impression, you know, and what came afterwards.
Yeah,
That's cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate
that's
that.
alright.
That's right.
Benno, anything that comes up for you, or that we haven't touched base on, or like a question, not just for me, for us, that we, you know, that you wanted to resolve?
Nah, not so much.
All right, then I have one for you. Would you be willing, in your now mixed martial arts journey, to come and join me at a session at Nabby's
Yeah,
boxing gym?
absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah?
for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because also, like, coming from Hamilton, like, anyone who knows anything about any sort of combat sport in Hamilton, like, Nabby's gym is in that conversation. You know, so it's always, like, I've never even been and I know exactly where it is, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely, that would be, yeah.
Yeah, because even people at the core mixed martial arts gym that we train at and
Yeah.
go to Nabby sometimes, they're like, well, you gotta pack your lunchbox, you know, you're in for something, but you definitely take away something afterwards as well, you know.
And we've come down, we took a crew down and sparred with you guys once. We used to have, I think it was on Friday, open sparring at Core.
Yeah,
And we've come down and
Yeah.
sparred. Yeah.
see that relationship, and then who knows what eventuates from that, you know. We wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for that, you know. However, I think we cover quite a bit of ground here, and other than me saying thanks to, of course, Ben behind the camera, who stepped up today, you know, to fill
Thank you.
some big shoes here with Timothy Stevens from Adapt Media being on daddy duties, you know. Like, wanted to say thanks to you. Still, you know, shout out to Adapt Media if you have any inquiries, or, you know, if you want to get some mahi done in the attention span realm, or however you want to call it, because Tim always keeps saying to us, or when he has the final mihi, that that's what he, you know, the product that he sells. Please reach out to him on Instagram or find him on his website. Yeah, thanks to you guys for making time after training this morning,
Yeah.
coming here straight away, you know, and rushing to get us sorted. And that's it from me. I would like to give you the stage now to talk about the upcoming event, opportunities, whatever you want, and then we close the curtain. So take it away.
So we have a amateur event in July, I think the 13th. July the 13th, we've got an amateur event, so if anyone's keen to come down, come support everyone. We've got like cadets, mini cadets from 10 years old to people who are elites and they're, I don't know, 35. And then another event in August on the 17th, it's amateurs and corporates, so it's from 12 o'clock till late.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
come on down.
Come down,
Yeah.
get your tickets.
Me. So next Friday I'm flying over to Australia to support Shay. She has an up and coming world title, I think at light heavy fight coming up, and I'm gonna fly over and support her and be in her camp for sparring, and then fly back on Tuesday and be an ECE teacher again. It's so humbling.
Yeah.
I like go and fly and think I'm a superstar. I say this to Ash, and then I'm changing nappies on Monday. I just love it. Love
Yeah.
it. It keeps me humble and grounded.
I would love to get like just a video of you doing again, blindfolded, you know, like change nappies in like 10 seconds, you know. Just
Yeah. Pretty good now.
yeah, goes like this, hey. Then I give a quick shout out to, of course, you know, Dion McNabbny,
Yes.
who has been an transformative pillar, you know, in your journey and whatnot, and who was very accommodating, not just when I went there for training in the past, also recently, previous conversations that we had, you know, just to prepare for this. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And the team at Nabby's as well, you know, the community there who's so welcoming. So if you're looking for a way of just getting fit or wanting to learn how to box, you know, that's another avenue. If you're not really into mixed martial arts or jiu-jitsu, you know, whatever floats your boat, that's another good address to go to, you know, to enroll yourself, your kids, your family, you know, spread the word. Here in the Waikato, they're doing amazing mahi. And that's that.